G'day from Australia. I'm Evan Armstrong, and we have 5x our revenue with the help of Two Brain Business in 2022.
Evan, did I hear you right from Australia? 5x revenue?
We sure have, Mike, since February. That is exactly what happened since engaging the lovely Anastasia as our business mentor.
Will you tell listeners how you did it so they can have the same success?
I've been thinking a lot about this, Mike, and it's really made me reflect deeply, which I really appreciate. And there's not one single thing. I was only thinking this morning that there's such a time lag between the improvements that you make, but then also seeing the results. So I guess looking back, starting from the work with Anastasia in March, I've come up with about 4 or 5 things that really have helped us with that improvement.
And will you tell, you're going to give them right here on the show, you'll tell people what you did exactly.
One thing I've learned is that it's all about value, right? So I've received so much value from you guys. So it's my pleasure to give as much back as possible. And if this helps anyone, then all the more better. I mean, we're all here to improve people's health and fitness, right? So
okay, well, I'm going to tell the listeners who we are, and then we're going to dig right into that. Listeners, this is Run a Profitable Gym. We are here every week. I'm your host, Mike Workington, and I track down gym owners who are getting incredible results. I ask them how they're doing it. They're kind enough to give the answers because they want you to improve your business as well. So today we're down under. It's Evan Armstrong, Destiny Fitness Australia. He recently left an office job. He's now making huge changes in his business. One of those changes, 5x revenue. So Evan, the big question, let's get into it. You said you have some reasons prepared. How did you do it?
I love it, mate. Look, first and foremost, I did quit my day job and opened up our calendar from 18 appointments a week to 31 appointments a week. Okay. So just for the listeners' context, we are one-on-one PT, and it is PT by a physio, or they might call it in the States or Canada, physical therapist. And it's a blend between physio, PT, some massage, and we've recently added the nutrition coaching, which has been really positive. But look, essentially we run appointments on the hour, every hour. So we opened our calendar, and that's obviously got a big part to do with it. Quitting the day job, opening up from 18 appointments a week to 31, and currently running at about 2/3 booked. And that's been really helpful. We were 4 nights a week with the evenings. And so it was a matter of getting the confidence up, booking out those evening time slots, and then saying, hey, you know what, let's take the plunge and let's open up the calendar.
Was that scary?
It actually wasn't, because I had the confidence that Anastasia gave me, and it was exciting just to have that creative freedom to step into it and say, now I've got the time to really focus 100% on our passion. And so it was more exciting than anything. It was more exciting to leave. You know, things got really tight there for a while, doing the full-time job and doing the business that was getting quite busy. So it was a relief to now actually slow down a little bit in the mornings and have some thinking time. So it was amazing.
So you got a mentor, you hooked up with Anastasia from Two Brain Business, and you did that while you had a full-time job working on the side to set up your business and get it ready to roll as a full-time thing that's going to provide for you and be your whole thing. Is that right?
Exactly right, Mike. Started in the garage. I had about 2 clients. I had the neighbor, you know, who needed some work with her knee. We had someone from work who came in. You know, I'm in the single garage now that we've turned into our office. I had the dog sniffing at the door. I had the 8-year-old knocking on the door wanting daddy. So yeah, quintessential change, my man. So and you know, something else that we've worked on a lot is constantly learning a lot from books, learning a lot from you guys. Started with Chris Cooper's Gym Owner's Handbook. You know, I thought, look, what else do I need to learn? What else do I need to find out to get this business really pumping? And so searching through the audiobooks, boom, came across Chris, listened to the book and got engaged in the content. And then there's the website. So it's easy to use, book a call. So essentially that helped a lot. So a lot from those, learning a lot from others has really helped us develop. One of the things I have picked up is thinking that everything is a system. So we picked that up from Michael E. Gerber, the E-Myth Revisited, thinking that, okay, what systems do we need to set up? Very system driven. You know, the way we meet clients, we open the door for them, they enter before us. There's always a smile, there's always a welcome back. The way we run our session, it's the same routine. We're making sure we're on time. We're making sure that we've got their program printed beforehand. You know, the way we email, when we prompt, to even our marketing systems, we've really refined with Anastasia's help. A bit of guerrilla marketing. So I've got a couple of little tricks there. And our branding consistency, just trying to keep that same system. Goal setting systems. I mean, it's really trying to break it down, and as Robert Kiyosaki would say, it's building an asset. It's building something that you're hoping can survive by itself, or particularly without you being there constantly.
You know what's funny about that, though, is that a lot of people that start small, and I was definitely guilty of this. Like, I started literally in a garage, similar to you, and I've got a big dog sleeping beside me here. But you start small as an entrepreneur, and you kind of have this tendency to just do stuff by the seat of your pants, make your wings on the way down, as it were, and just maybe not fill in those policies and procedures that maybe come back to bite you in the butt later on. That happened to me. But it sounds like you did the other thing, where instead of just going like very casual, I'm, my own boss kind of thing, you rigidly laid out your client journey and the policies and procedures that would support that. Have I got that right?
Exactly right. And that really came into effect with Anastasia. She really kept us accountable to doing that. A little bit scary at the start. She's got a bit of the Russian accent happening, and very, disciplined, which I really appreciated. So the accountability factor's there. But yeah, she's a lovely person, and she's certainly got that compassion. And
the thing that I like about her is that she's very upfront, that she, with her mentees, that she works hard, she expects a lot, and she pushes. She's very blunt and direct about stuff. And I really like that about her. And we have mentors who work in all sorts of different ways. So if someone needs a different approach, that's cool. But she works really well with people who just want to do the work and put their nose down. And she'll be blunt. Like, did you do your homework? Nope. You need to do your homework.
That's exactly right. And it's worked for us. Yep. It's the Kaizen mindset, which I've picked up from Brian Tracy or even Tony Robbins. It's a 1% improvement. How do we make these systems 1% better? It's ironing out the clumps. It's going through the day and saying, you're sitting there with a client and you're thinking, gee, I wish we could do this better, or this isn't ideal. And so it's one step at a time. Can we upgrade the computer screen? So now our clients, we can educate them through the sales binder because we've got larger computer screens there. It's adding drinks. Everyone now gets a free drink per session, or a bonus drink included within their session. So that's a 1% improvement. And all of a sudden it's a better customer experience.
You know, what's interesting though, is that lots of people sit there during the day at their gyms and they think that they're like, I should change that. I should do this. And then it slips their mind in a slew of other things and they don't do it. Taking action is the thing that makes a real difference. And this is something Chris Cooper has talked about when he's talked about gym owners and said, if you want to improve your business, and do the first thing you do every day, make sure that thing measurably improves your business. And Chris has done this with Two Brain. He does this with his other businesses. The first thing he does, like coffee in hand, staggering it with his bathrobe, is do one thing to measurably improve your business. It sounds like you've really taken that to heart and you're doing that.
It drove me a little crazy to start because I had so much to do. And loving your social media work, by the way. I'm just thinking of you with your crate, saying to Chris, I've got so much to do.
Oh, you saw us on TikTok, eh?
Yeah. Look, so even our priority setting is our priority setting and our goal settings now system. So everything now goes straight into Google Tasks. Not sure if you've used Google Tasks, but we love it because you can drop and slide the priorities really easily. The app on the phone, it's on your PC. And we've whilst it's a small business, we run it like a company. So we've got all of the divisions. So boom, you've got a marketing idea, it goes straight into the marketing division on Google Tasks as a priority. And so then when we get around to it, we tick it off and show that it's done. I try to keep a list of top 10, although that quickly blows out into a list of top 15, 20 tasks. And so that I'm prioritizing the day, sliding those tasks up and down. And I'm thinking, look, I'm sitting with a client, I'm thinking, I've got to upgrade their program. So I remember it's straight into the priority system. And so I'm less likely to forget it, much more likely to achieve it.
So listeners, we're digging into details here, but I'm going to give you two broad words to summarize. And the first one is systems. The second one is action. And these are the things, the drumbeat on this show when you talk to successful gym owners is systems and action. Systems are boring. They're not sexy, but they're the basis of a successful business. I'm sorry to say it. They will make you money. And taking action is the second thing. Those two things are the heart and soul of what we're talking about here. Evan, tell me some more about some of the stuff that you've got going on. I love that you've got this, you've got the client journey, you've got everything laid out, but I think there's something interesting here where you said you open up new sessions from 18 to 31 or whatever the exact numbers were. Doing that, they don't just fill themselves. How did you fill those?
I think a lot of it had to do with our website. We were really forced to take a deeper look at our website, again, with that 1% mentality. How can we make this 1% easier for our customers to engage? We now have the form that they can fill out as soon as they enter the website. We now have the free assessment that they can book in straight away. So it's making it customer friendly and as attractive and simple as possible. We had a little bit too much going on. We had to simplify it down and make it really clear as to what we offered and how we worked, make that first booking really easy. We have improved our sales system. So with a sales binder that I learned from Two Brain Business, it's been amazing just because you can demonstrate the value when people are sitting there and you've gone through all of their problems and concerns. Putting them first is something else I learned, and listening really deeply as to what their concerns are and how is it emotional for them? Like, what are the emotions behind driving these goals, and digging more deeply into that. And then going into the sales binder, okay, here's the solution to the problem. Here are the options. And you're putting that client in the driver's seat. But then we all have to feel in control. Yeah, we all have to be the one making the decision and saying, yes, I'm going to choose that. That's for me. So we're outlining the value. This is a value here. We've got the PT sessions from a physical therapist, can include some massage. If your back's sore, you don't have to miss your session. We have the nutrition option, which we know is great for the weight loss, and that can include, that does include that accountability factor throughout. So that's helped having that sales binder to really show our value and give people choice.
So you're using that prescriptive model, right? That's the prescriptive model. And listeners, if you don't know what that is, the simple step version is exactly what Evan said. You ask clients in a free consultation, what do you want to accomplish? Then you tell them how you can help them solve that problem by presenting high value services in a professional way. We use a sales binder. If you do that, you will sell more, your clients will stay longer, and they will get better results, and your average revenue per member will go up. These are data-driven numbers. I'm not just making this whole thing up. We have data that proves this. Evan, have you seen that in your business? Have you seen like retention, sale prices and everything that you're doing there? Have you seen that stuff move as a result of this prescriptive process with new clients?
So our price from March, November has gone up from $90 a session to $125 a session, or $125 a week. And yeah, did have some price resistance, but people are really seeing the value now and they're loving it. So yeah, most definitely not.
And you're using, did I hear that you say you're using screens to present your sales binder in your office? Is that right?
Now using the big PC screens, which is a lot easier for them. So yeah, much easier. Just on the PowerPoint presentation, one thing drops down at a time. Really clear, really easy, and really effective. So I used to just stand out the front and try to wing it. I've done a deep and continue to do a deep dive in the whole sales learning. I mean, it's the questions, it's solving people's problems, it's showing how you add value. It's the objections. So a lot of the time, the objections aren't necessarily an objection to you or an objection completely, but it's a concern. We all have concerns when we're looking for solutions. So hearing those objections for the first time feels like a bit of an attack or a bit of a complete rejection, but it's saying, hey, Mike, you might have an objection. It's really just a concern. And I'm saying to you, okay, let's unpack that a little bit further. Tell me what you're concerned about. Oh, I'm concerned about the price. We say, okay, well, is there a way that you can afford this better? Are you smoking, or you're drinking? Is there something else you can make room for in your budget? Or can we help you? How can we help you see the value a little bit differently? This is what we include. Our memberships have now become more flexible, or particularly my sale of the membership has been, hey, we've got a 1-month cancellation notice. There's nothing to lose here. If you get involved, if it's not perfect for you, you can give us a month's notice and you can cancel. And by the time the people get their first 4 to 6 weeks in, they're seeing the results. The blood pressures come down. They're moving better. We've built that connection, and they say, "Hey, I'm loving it. Let's continue." We're showing them that, hey, you can pause your session. You can pause your membership, for a couple of weeks if you give us a month's notice. You can, if you're genuinely sick and you can't do the phone call or the video conference, we're giving you the credit voucher. And so straight up, some of those concerns that tick away with, higher value or high price memberships, we're starting to address those a lot earlier. And so that's something that has really helped our sales as well.
So I'm hearing 3 P's right there that you're talking about, is policies, procedures, and sales practice, right? Like, you've got everything, exactly how you're operating. You've got your whole presentation laid out. You've practiced this thing. You're prepared for objections, and you're collecting emotional information from clients about what this really means to them, that you can then say, yeah, there's a price, but is the price of sickness, what is it worth to you? You can kind of start figuring out how to confront those objections because you've practiced and you know what you're doing. So this is all important stuff. Listeners, sales binder, put one together. It doesn't have to be, a work of art. It just has to clearly present high value stuff in a way that a client can understand. Less is more. Make it clear, make it professional. That's a huge tip that Evan is putting into practice right now, and it's working. So talk to me a little bit about some of the coaching that you receive from Anastasia. On a day-to-day basis, like, what is she getting you, or maybe because you don't talk every day, but what is she getting you to work on, and how is she getting you to prioritize? Because you said you have a huge list of stuff that you want to do. How does she help you figure out the thing that's going to make that 1% improvement right now?
She just tells me, she says at the end of the call, I want you to do these 3 things. I get a little bit frightened, and then I do it. So look, initially, I did have some maybe objections of myself, but maybe I had some questions or hesitations, perhaps, like, oh, do I have the time for that? Is that really necessary? The community Facebook page. She says, go out, wear a plain t-shirt and start a community Facebook page so that people can see you, and they're not even thinking about sales or something for sale at all, and you're building those relationships. It took me a few weeks to do that, and then all of a sudden I'm doing it, and guess what? It's working. It was the inner group member Facebook group. I thought, oh, do people really need that? Do I really have time for that? Am I going to be... Your mind starts to come up with excuses. And so look, Anastasia knows what she's doing. She's done this for a long time. Just trust her from this and just do it. So as soon as that's done, the members love it. They now have that privatized view of your business, of you, tailor-made information that they're not going to get anywhere else. They love it. So you're definitely trusting what your coach has to say, definitely just going for it, and you've really got nothing to lose. Worst case scenario, you come back with your coach, you refine it, you talk about why it didn't work, and they'll steer you in the better direction again. To answer your question more thoroughly, at the moment, it's about doing the annual business audit.
Ooh, so
going through everything and saying, where do we need to improve for 2023 and how is that going to impact our goals? So my session with Anastasia is actually in 2 days' time. So it's Friday. So I'm kind of cracking the whip now to make sure I'll get that done for her.
You know how often I did an annual audit at my business before Two Brain?
Yeah.
Never. I never did it.
Yeah.
And it was a mistake, right? You just kind of get caught up in the day to day and you grind and grind and grind. And I was like literally picking gum off rowing machines and vacuuming hair out of cracks and floors and stuff. But I wasn't sitting down and actually doing an audit of saying what will measurably make my business better, and then putting the plans in place to do it. I was so focused on the minutia, I couldn't look up and out at all the big stuff I needed to do to improve the client experience, retain staff, and do all those other things. So it's really cool that you're doing that right from the beginning of this thing as a full-time, gym owner, and you're seeing measurable results, I'm guessing.
Certainly are, mate. I owe a lot to the coaching process. I've only heard, I think Chris say it recently, that the coach has the vantage point where they've been there, they've done that, they're not caught up in the minutiae, like you said, and they can see the bigger picture. So, and that accountability factor, I can't emphasize it enough, because we all know, we all have the shoulds, yeah? I should do this, I should do that, I've got to do this, I've got to do that. And then when you are paying the money and you've got someone you're going to have to report back to, we all want to feel good about ourselves when we've done, what we're supposed to do, or at least had a go at what we're supposed to do. So yeah, that whole accountability factor has been amazing. I mean, I could listen to Chris and you guys all day and say, oh, that's a great idea, I should really do that, and then as soon as you've got someone that says you're going to do it, you've got a month, or in the ramp up phase, you've got a week, it really, really helps.
So listeners, the ramp up phase is like getting your foundation in place. It's a sprint. We're talking weeks here. Some people do a little faster, some people do a little slower, but we're not talking like 6 months. We're talking like a sprint, 12 weeks kind of thing, blasting through the foundational stuff that you need to create this really firm pad to build your business on. After that, we get into the growth phase. And in that phase, things are a little bit more targeted because you have your foundation, and then your unique business is analyzed by a professional mentor who says, you need to do this thing right now. Here's the resource. Here's the proof. Take these steps, report back. And I'm saying it very directively, like Anastasia would, of course, but the idea is do the work. We've tested all this stuff. Put it in place. It is going to work. Evans, he's tried it. He got the results. It makes sense. So talk to me in growth now. You're at this stage where you're now full-time. You're in this business. You're committed to it. What are you working on right now? Like, what's Anna got you doing to take your business to the next step? I mean, revenue's 5X. What's next?
It's increasing the value and perceived value and real value for the members. So we're looking at implementing the welcome pack. So practical gifts delivered to the member as soon as they've signed up. So it's a 1%er. It's one more way that we can add value to the members.
So that's a clear focus on the client journey, right? That's like you're looking at integrating this client and getting the client in there. And that's going to have they're probably going to buy more stuff, let's be blunt, but also they're going to stay longer, because the better you can make their first 90 days, the longer they're going to stay. What else have you got?
We've got our goal reviews on their client journey. We actually do, because we're seeing a client once a week, we've trimmed it right down to just be 3 questions once a week. So of course we're taking the measurements once a week. We're actually ordering a body morph scanner, so where we can get the body fat percentage, the muscle mass percentage, the bone density. We're looking at the weights lifted, or the heart rate, or the blood pressure, and then we're looking at those 3 questions. What can you do? Can you rate yourself out of 10 this week on your effort and application with your health and fitness? What could you have done better this week? What are you going to do the following week to improve? And guess what? I'm going to be asking you the same question in your next session. And so they've got their home program, they might have the gym program, they've got the one-on-one session with us. And that's another 1%er, is we're trying to add value by getting them to think more deeply about their own commitment and what they can do better. So lots of focus on the client journey. We've implemented the Chronometer app, which is awesome. I'm not sure if you've seen it or heard of it, but it's, the app on the phone, and we're like Big Brother, as I tell our clients. We can see their nutrition, we can see their training, are they logging their daily walk, and we're tracking their results through that. So that's something that the clients are loving at the moment, that it's just that extra value. Again, it's, this is something that others at your 24/7 gym, they're not getting. So it's that, as we call it, the VIP, you're a very important person. Call it corny, but it just happens to align with our core values of value, integrity, and passion.
So that's a clear focus on your client journey. Like right there, you're dialing it in, saying, making it better.
You're our VIP. We will move mountains for you, and that's the value. How much more value can we add? We are collaborating with other professionals. So can we bring our members discounts for other services? Personally, we don't offer the discounts, but some services do. Yeah, so we work with some counsellors who might offer discounts on their sessions, or we work with say supplement providers, and they offer discounts with their supplements. So all of a sudden, within our membership, you're now getting discounts on some products with collaboration businesses.
So that's value added. That just brings more to the table for a member, and it doesn't cost your business margin because you're not giving them the discount yourself. You're just linking them, connecting them to other services and making it that much more valuable. So that's client facing stuff. How about stuff that you're working on your end? Like, I know that you shared with me some sales metrics. What are you doing on your end to get better at selling stuff?
Personal development, Mike. For me, currently working on the inner zen. Yeah, getting calm, feeling happy as much as possible, and enjoying every day. So the stress of the running a business, I'm not all preaching to the converted with any business owner, or the shoulds. Should do that. This should be better. It's focusing on the inner experience, some meditating, making sure I've got plenty of time with my family, and just growing. I think from that regard, personally, has been really powerful. The way you are, at home and in your personal life, it shows up professionally. Yeah, so it's working on that. I think's been really powerful. As I said, it's learning more about the sales has been really, really powerful. And so that's, going to show up in the business. We're looking at hiring. So we're putting the word out for a clinical nutritionist and or a dietitian to take charge of that nutrition coaching membership. We're looking for a personal trainer who is a physical therapist. So that's our differentiator. Yeah, our PT is the physical therapist. And so we're advertising for that, reaching out to a recruitment specialist to see if they can help us with it. And I mean, once we can have a quality person in like that, that is just going to be the best thing ever for me to now get onto all of those priority lists. As much as I like working with the clients, that's something that will inevitably bring them even more value where I can keep building the business.
So that's a hiring plan that's going to get you into CEO role, and everything in the business will change at that point. That's going to allow so much more things to happen for the clients. And it's also going to allow you to grow your business. So you've gone from like in your garage by yourself to becoming the CEO of an ever-growing company, which I love. Here's the thing. Lots of people listen to this show and they're out there. They're just like you were. We said you found Chris Cooper's book, Gym Owner's Handbook. Guys, you can get that on Amazon. You get a chance now to tell someone out there who was just like you a year ago, what should they do to 5X their revenue? What would you do if you were going to talk to that person? Someone says, Evan, you 5X your revenue. How the hell do I do it? What would you say?
First thing, Mike, I would say is slow down a little bit. I launched very quickly. I was starting in the shed and I was feeling a bit disgruntled. I looked immediately for rental properties and I didn't spend enough time, I don't think, on the finances. I thought, great, I need 4 or 5 clients a week to cover the rent, and I'm sure we'll make the rest, and it will be fine. And then you start, and everything, then the insurance, and whatever else, the electricity bill, and you go, goodness me, these bills just keep coming. So I would have had more appointments with the accountant, and I would have put that financial side of the business plan in more thoroughly. I would definitely invest first and foremost in a coach and put that plan together more thoroughly before opening. People have gone down the path before, hey, as they say, the success leaves clues. So I would work closely with others to start. And then once you've got that plan in place, just go for it, just launch. I mean, obviously, if you need that safety net of another source of income, another source of revenue, by all means, extremely, good choice to do that. But just launch, put yourself out there, and you never know who's watching. You never, like talking to you now. How cool is that? Like, you never know who's watching and what opportunities you're going to open up. So you can play it safe to a point, but then you've just got to go for it.
I love it. And listeners, here's what I'm going to do. The first thing that Evan said was business planning. I'm going to take care of that for you. I'm going to put a link in the show notes to a done for you business plan that you guys can play with and mess around with. It'll take a ton of work out of it because no one likes doing a business plan, but if you do it, your life will be better. The second step after that is mentorship. If you want to hit this fast and easy button, work with us. We have all the assets that will get you where you want to go faster. Don't be like me, beat your head into the wall for a decade. Be like Evan and 5x your revenue in less than a year. Evan, thanks so much for sharing your story with us. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Mike. Absolute pleasure.
That was Evan Armstrong. This is Run a Profitable Gym. I'm your host, Mike Workington. You can run a very profitable gym too. I'm going to give you everything you need to do it every week. So please subscribe for more episodes. And if you're on YouTube, hammer that like button. I'd really appreciate it.